Lahat ng drama, tawanan, balita at all-time favorite music hits. Sa lungkot at ligaya, kami pa rin ang inyong kasama. We're the place where you truly belong. Mula sa TVH Group of Networks, ito ang inyong himpilan. Ito ang inyong tahanan. Number 1 sa Mega Manila.
Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. It is now 11:04 p.m. and this is koolNews Primetime. My name is Cairo and we will be here to serve you the latest news headlines that truly care for you. We are live on Kool FM and also on News Radio 93.1. Let's begin with our headlines for tonight. The Chinese national who was arrested for espionage activities in the country was found to have studied in an institution run by the Chinese military, the Bureau of Immigration said Friday. BI Commissioner Joel Antonio Viado said in an interview with PTV's Mike Abe Live program, "We discovered that he was a product of a university run by the People's Liberation Army. He is an information technology specialist and what he does is gather information on the so-called infrastructures that are critical here in the Philippines." Viado said further probe is underway to determine the real motive of the foreigner who he said is staying in the country since 2013. He said, "We discovered that he is embedded here in the Philippines. He was here as early as 2013, going back and forth, going in and out of the Philippines. The Chinese national is married to a Filipina and has a child," Viado added. Viado added that they would initiate deportation proceedings against him, aside from other cases that will be filed before local courts. The Chinese national and his two Filipino cohorts were arrested on January 17 by National Bureau of Investigation operatives at a condominium in Makati City for alleged espionage activities in key military and civilian infrastructure in the country. Meanwhile, the Bureau has intensified the use of artificial intelligence as part of modernizing its processes. Viado said, also based on the President's directive, we want to intensify the use of artificial intelligence, modernization of our border control so that we know who is entering and exiting the Philippines. But one key here is in our program is the President's directive to modernize not only the facilities but also our intelligence gathering and border control capability. That's the most important thing. Yeah. Meanwhile, Palace said that the Philippines stance on withdrawing from the International Criminal Court remains unchanged, but it will cooperate if the International Tribunal makes requests through the International Criminal Police Organization or Interpol. In a press conference on Friday, Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin was asked whether the country is changing its position on the ICC after Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Remulla expressed openness to discussing the previous administration's bully war on drugs with the ICC. He responded, Hindi. Ganito inyong sa ICC, we have withdrawn from the ICC and membership from the ICC, and that withdrawal is already in effect, he responded. But we have been very clear in our statements regarding this. If the ICC makes a move, it courses the move through the Interpol, and the Interpol makes the request to us for the arrest or delivery of the custody of a person subject to ICC jurisdiction, we will respond favorably or positively to the Interpol request. Kasi benefit din tayo sa Interpol in other cases, he continued. A Reuters article dated January 23 said that Remulla would be willing to talk to the ICC in a very well-defined manner in the spirit of committee. Remulla also said that there are certain areas in which the Philippine government and the ICC could cooperate, but he emphasized that lines have to be drawn properly. In Friday's press conference, Bersamin said he did not know which areas of cooperation Remulla was referring to. He said, well, ganito iyan, walang naman definite na or klaro na sinabi na mag-cooperate ka agad. I do not even know kung ano ipit sabihin ni Secretary Boying. But as far as experience has given to the government shows, inyong request ng Interpol should always be respected because the Interpol is also doing us service in other areas similar to this. So that's the meaning of committee, he said. Earlier in the day, Senator Risa Hontiveros said that Romulo's openness to talk to the ICC regarding the war on drugs is a silver lining for all victims of extrajudicial killings. Hontiveros said in Filipino, if ever there will be discussions between our government and the ICC, I hope the government will see that it needs to help in the investigation, not only because of our treaty obligations, but especially for the families of Kian de los Santos, Carl Angelo Arnes, Reynaldo Gulo de Guzman, and other families who have been crying for justice for a long time. Meanwhile, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is not blocking the processing of the impeachment complaints against Vice President Sara Duterte, Malacanang said Friday. In the press conference in Pasay City, Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin refuted the claim of lawmakers from the Makabayan bloc at the House of Representatives that Marcos' alleged interference was delaying the impeachment proceedings against Duterte. Bersamin said he or Marcos is not blocking. He cannot do that because it is the discretion of the collective of the lower house. If they decide to initiate, there is no way of preventing that, Bersamin said. Marcos is merely expressing his views on the impeachment move, but it's not dictating the lower chamber to delay the processing of the complaints, Bersamin said. Bersamin said the House has the prerogative to endorse the impeachment complaints against Duterte. He said, you know that under the Constitution, the impeachment must emanate from the lower house, okay? Now, if the president has made the statement at all about that process, it is only an opinion that he stated because he probably the thinking of the president is that he might be distracting us from our agenda or our move forward, he said. We cannot dictate on the lower house. It is co-equal, belongs to a co-equal branch of government. All we were saying, the president was saying to the lower house, this is my position, Bersamin added. In an interview in Gurawin Yete on January 17, Marcos said it would not be practical to push for Duterte's impeachment, citing the very poor timing of the move, given that the midterm elections will be held this year. And the Philippines on Friday completed another rotation and reprovisioning mission to the BRP Sierra Madre in Ayungin, Quezon, the Department of Foreign Affairs disclosed. In the statement, the DFA said this was the fifth RORE mission conducted following the understanding reached between the Philippines and China on principles and approaches for the conduct of RORE missions in Ayungin. The DFA said it demonstrates that effective diplomacy plays a leading role in West Philippine Sea issues and creates pathways to innovative approaches that help manage the situation without compromising the Philippine national interest. The Philippines views the latest RORE mission and the continued adherence to the understanding on the principles and approaches to such missions as substantial demonstrations of diplomatic and pragmatic cooperation in dealing with issues in the South China Sea and the country's commitment to the peaceful resolution of disputes through dialogue and diplomacy, it added. The Philippines and China, during the 10th bilateral consultation mechanism held earlier this month, agreed to continue the conduct of RORE missions to Ayungin and sustain the de-escalation of tensions within the territory. Later on koolNews Primetime in international headlines, Trump's deportation operation is now underway and hundreds of migrants were arrested. It is now 11:12 p.m. as we will return with more news headlines that truly care for you right here on koolNews Primetime. Stay along with us. We will return right after this break.
This koolNews edition was brought to you by Fuji Denso Home and Commercial Appliances, where you get reliable, durable, and energy-saving products. Upgrade your usual appliances of Fuji Denso HV inverter appliances. Fuji Denso, quality above all. McDonald's, featuring their McSavers Sulit Busog meals, starting at 99 pesos in all stores nationwide. Prices may vary. Neutral Light Style Low-Fat Milk Powder. So good you'll float. Product excellence of Hongsang. And Musicultura Heritage Foundation Center, a museum of all fan-made multimedia and Philippine history. Visit us today at Greenbelt, Makati City from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Musicultura, a non-profit joint venture project of Able Media and TVH Group of Networks Incorporated. Ang paboritong evening tambayan ng bawat kalamaw. Napapakinggan na sa radyo, masaya pa sa telebisyon. Tuloy-tuloy ang kasiyahan sa tuwing 9:30 p.m.
Ito ang Bahay Tulugan!
With Geometric, tuwing Sabado dito lang sa Cool FM. You're listening to Cool FM.
#1 sa Mega Manila.
Nationwide pa!
Ang numero unong kailangan sa ngayon, extra strong ka dapat para di ka mawasak ng anumang hamong ibigay sa'yo. Ang hanap ng Red Horse Beer, extra strong na tulad mo. Lakas. Tama. Kayang tumindig at harapin ang mga pagsubok na parating. Panatag ang loob na bukas na namnamin mo ang iyong tagumpay. Lakas ng tama pero di wasak sa hamon ng bukas.
Red Horse Extra Strong, the #1 extra strong beer in the world. Drink responsibly.
Marami po sa ating mga kababayan ay may mga hinaing, subalit hindi naririnig dahil wala po silang boses sa ating lipunan. Ako po si Erwin Tulfo, ang kakampi ng mga inaapi at sa mga lumalaban sa hamon ng buhay sa araw-araw. Number 63 po sa pagkasenador.
Barbie Forteza po. And I believe ang taong sa pera ay wais, ang skin pwede pa rin kuminis. And I thank you, Silka Papaya Lotion. Dahil 750 pesos SRP lang, giving na ang papaya enzymes niya. Affordable skincare, diba? Kaya kung bet mo ay kutis na lit, sa Silka Papaya Lotion kumapit. With regular use, slay it with the skin na giving. Stay lit with Silka. With regular use for only 750 pesos SRP.
Good morning, Miss Grace. Tell me about yourself.
Hello po. Graduate po ko sa bungi. Major in bungi. Magna cum bungi. Ako po ay very bungi worker. And I think I can be a great bungi to this company.
Tulad ka ba ni Grace na mas pansin ang bungi kaysa sa credentials?
Miss Bungi, Grace, sa ngayon wala kaming opening. We'll get back to you na lang, ha?
Kung ikaw rin ay may bungi prob sa job hunting, maaari kang mabigyan ng Polydent ng libreng pustiso sa Oplan Balikngiti program. Go to polydentbalikngiti.com now.
Pag may lagnat si bunso at mapait ang gamot, pahirapan sa pag-inom. Pero pag Kidilets, madaling inumin para gumaling.
United Home Kidilets. Chewable paracetamol in candy flavors.
Unilab yan.
Paracetamol is the generic name of Kidilets. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Tuhod, siko, baywa, aray! Pag laging pasan ang sakit sa kasukasuan, sign na yan ng arthritis o joint deterioration. Karaniwan kapag nagkakaedad na, kailangan ng tibay at ginhawang makakapitan. Kaya ng artrisin yan. May undenatured type 2 collagen at methylsulfonyl methane na maaaring makatulong protektahan ang kalusugan ng kasukasuan. Make the right move. Uminom ng artrisin araw-araw. Mabibili ang artrisin sa mga leading drugstores nationwide. Mahalagang paalala, ang artrisin ay hindi gamot at hindi maaaring gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Cafe 5-in-1 plus 1 coffee mix. Ito ang kape na very healthy at complete. Puro ang sangkap, tunay na may herbal ang kape. Basta Cafe, suave, suave, suave.
Ang Cafe, di lang kape. Ito ang coffee na may herbal pre, na pampa-enhance ng isipan, pampalakas ng katawan. Masarap inumin araw-arawin dahil may panax, ginseng, agaricus, blazay, muril, mushroom at syempre spirulina. Puro ang sangkap talagang mabisa at ito ay masustansya. Di lang to swabeng higupin, maganda din sa immune system.
Cafe 5-in-1 plus 1 coffee mix. Ito ang kape na very healthy at complete. Puro ang sangkap, tunay na may herbal ang kape. Basta Cafe, suave, suave, suave. Cafe 5-in-1 plus 1 coffee mix. Suave.
Mark Cafe 5-in-1 plus 1 coffee mix. Mabibili na sa inyong mga suking tindahan, drugstores at supermarket sa inyong lugar.
Miss, pabili ng Farex B.
Farex B ha? Ayaw ko ng iba.
Yung Farex B nga po. Meron kayong Farex B?
Marami ang umaasa sa akin. Kaya Farex B.
Buong Pilipinas ay far-excited! Hindi nagpapahinto sa ngalay, tusok, manhid sa tulong ng
Farex B, Farex B, far-excited with Farex B.
With proper diet and healthy lifestyle, Farex Vitamin B1, B6, B12.
If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Tayo na sa iyo. Tayo'y magpatingin. Tayo na sa iyo. Sila'y eksperto at pagagaling. Tayo na sa iyo. Inyong mata ay mahalin. EO Executive Optical. Ang practical. EO Executive Optical. Ito'y practical.
Bakit kahit quality, abot kaya pa rin ang mga gamot ng RightMed? Dahil gusto ng RightMed na gumaling kayo nang kayo'y nakakakilos, nakapagtatrabaho. Coco Martin po at kasama ako ng RightMed na naghahangad na gumaling kayo. Sumaya, makibahagi ng gusto sa buhay. Para sa pamilya, para sa bayan.
Dahil gusto namin na gumaling kayo.
If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Welcome back to koolNews Primetime. Let's continue with our headlines. In the international headlines, hundreds of migrants in the United States were arrested Thursday and others flown out of the country on military aircraft as President Donald Trump's promised mass deportation operation got underway, the White House said. The crackdown came as Trump prepared to head on Friday to California and North Carolina, where natural disasters have turned into political footballs in his first trip since his return to office. And on another whirlwind day in his first week as president, Trump told Fox News he would rather not impose tariffs on China after repeated vows to hit America's biggest economic rival with hefty import levies. The Republican also said he will reach out to Kim Jong-un again, calling the North Korean leader he previously met 3 times a smart guy. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said Trump's administration on Thursday arrested 538 illegal immigrant criminals, adding hundreds were deported by military aircraft. The largest mass deportation operation in history is well underway, she said in a post on social media platform X. Trump promised a crackdown on illegal immigration during the election campaign and began his second term this week with a flurry of executive actions aimed at overhauling entry to the United States. On his first day in office, Trump signed orders declaring a national emergency at the southern border and announced the deployment of more troops to the area, vowing to deport criminal aliens. There are an estimated 11 million undocumented migrants in the United States. On Thursday, the Democratic Mayor of the city of New Jersey, Ras Baraka, said in a statement that Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE agents, raided a local establishment, detaining undocumented residents as well as citizens without producing a warrant. Baraka said one of those detained during the raid was a U.S. military veteran. ICE announced 538 arrests and 373 detainers launched in an enforcement update on X. ICE launches detainers who are non-citizens who have been arrested on criminal charges and who the agency believes can be deported under the law in order to keep them in custody. On his fourth full day back in office, Trump is due to visit fire-whacked Los Angeles, where he will be able to see the widespread damage tallied to cost billions of dollars. But many are worried the career leader, will yank the federal support the city needs to get back on its feet. Trump has suggested that aid to Democrat-led California following the deadly wildfires could be made conditional as he pumps out false claims about water management and fish. Trump said this week, emphasizing his false claim that there is a valve in Northern California that can be turned to release billions of gallons, liters of water in the rain-starved state. I don't think we should give California anything until they let the water run down. Officials say Trump will meet firefighters and people who have been affected by the blazes that have killed more than 2,000 people in Los Angeles, the second biggest U.S. city. Trump has bitterly criticized Democratic California Governor Gavin Newsom as an idiot and has repeatedly made baseless claims that the western state had water issues because it diverted supplies to save a small fish called osmelt. The president has also floated ending federal disaster relief in general and leaving states to fend for themselves, accusing the Federal Emergency Management Agency of turning its back on victims. Trump said in an interview with Fox News, FEMA has not done their job for the last 4 years. I would rather see the states take care of their own problems. Trump on Friday will also visit North Carolina, which is still recovering after floods caused by Hurricane Helene last year killed more than 100 people in the state. Christy Edwards said Trump can change everything. Who is a 55-year-old retired teacher living an hour away from the hard-hit city of Asheville, who supports the Republican. People were still living in camper van with their families following the disaster, she told AFP. She said, our state has done very little. So we're hoping by Trump coming, we will help get more resources. On the international front, Trump said in a Fox News interview aired Thursday that he could make a deal with Chinese leader Xi Jinping on Taiwan and trade. He said, we have one very big power over China, and that's troops, and they don't want them, and I would rather not have to use it. But it's a tremendous power over China. Asked during the same interview if he would reach out to North Korean leader Kim Jong-un again, Trump replied, I will, yeah, he liked me. The Republican had a rare diplomatic relationship with the reclusive Kim during his first administration from 2017 to 2021, not only meeting with him, but saying the two fell in love. Trump on Thursday also ordered the release of documents on the 1960s assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, his younger brother Robert F. Kennedy, and civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. JFK's murder still fuels conspiracy theories more than 60 years after his death. Meanwhile, Mexican soldiers rushed Thursday to set up emergency shelters near the border with the United States ahead of President Donald Trump's threatened mass deportations. The Mexican government said it planned to open 9 shelters for its citizens and 3 more for deported foreigners, without clarifying the total capacity under the scheme called Mexico Embraces You. President Claudia Sheinbaum said this week that Mexico would provide humanitarian assistance to deported migrants from other countries before repatriating them. On Thursday, she said that 2 of the reception centers were expected to be ready by the end of the day and the others by the weekend. They will be equipped with kitchens and bathrooms and will offer food, health services, and counseling. In the northern city of Matamoros, across the border from Brownsville, Texas, Navy personnel were seen erecting a shelter on a large sports field, according to an Agents Press correspondent. The facilities included olive green tents and for military personnel who will be in charge of security, as well as a metal structure that will house tents for the deportees. The Matamoros shelter, one of 3 being built in Tamaulipas State, will be able to accommodate around 3,000 people, according to municipal authorities. Operator Granato said, we expect to receive 200 to 250 people a day, who is a mayor of the city on the banks of the Rio Grande River, which snakes along the border. As we are running out of time, we will now head over to the entertainment news. Okay. The second trailer of Academy Award-winning director Bong Joon-ho's upcoming science fiction thriller film, Mickey 17 offers a deeper glimpse of Robert Pattinson stepping into the role of an expendable worker sent to a distant planet to perform hazardous tasks, only to be repeatedly cloned each time he dies. Released on Thursday, January 23, the new trailer opens with Pattinson as Mickey Burness applying to be an expendable worker without reading through the paperwork. Pattinson's Burness said, "They made me work my ass off, gave me one shitty mission after another. Given that Pattinson's character is always performing lethal tasks, that is inevitable. Every time I died, they just printed me out again," said the character, adding that everyone asks him what it feels like to die. The trailer also offers a first-time look at the chemistry between Pattinson and Nomi Aki as Nasha. Pattinson's character expressed the ship was filled with mostly dumbheads, but Nasha, she's always loved me. At the end of the trailer, Burness is also captured meeting his clones, indicating things have started to change. Mark Ruffalo, who plays the villain, said, "In the case of potables, we exterminate every individual." Mickey 17 is supposed to explore the plight of disposable laborers, worker rights, the ethics of cloning, and the value of individual lives in a corporate control feature. As of writing, the second trailer has accumulated more than 6 million views. The sci-fi dystopia film is set to mark Bong's returns to the big screen after winning an Oscar for Best Director with Parasite, while the movie will be Pattinson's comeback film since his time as Batman. The film also features Steven Yeun and Toni Collette, among others. Mickey 17 opens in Philippine cinemas on March 5. As we close koolNews Primetime, we will get into, I think I can't do quote of the day. Let me just do one more thing. There we go. As we close koolNews Primetime, here is the quote of the day coming from Lucius Anaelius Seneca. Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for a kindness. That is from Lucius Anaelius Seneca. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now 11:30 p.m. and that brings us to the end of koolNews Primetime for tonight. As always, you can send us your comments, suggestions, and feedback to our email at tvh.philippines.news@gmail.com. And we will return with more news headlines tomorrow with koolNews at 4 or 6 depending on the situation. Until then, my name is Carl. Coming up next on Cool FM is Mike Tulugan with our kasama si Geometric. Have a great night, stay safe, and take care. This has been koolNews Primetime. Good night.
Ano ba, wala tayong station ID? Tut, 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 Cool FM, number 1 sa tanan. Cool FM, mabaho ang puwet ng MBN. Cool FM, number 1.
We are experiencing some technical difficulties as we speak. Please stand by for Mike Tulugan.